Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Cooking for the Family. I'm Dyvonne and today I'm going to share with you how I make my pasta primavera. These are the ingredients that I'm going to be using. This is a nice meal, especially if you want a nice meatless meal but you want it to be pretty hearty, something the whole family will enjoy. This is definitely a meal that ticks all those boxes. These are the vegetables that I like to use in my pasta primavera, but I'll also share with you some other vegetables that you can also use. For my zucchini, I like to cut them about a half an inch, but no smaller than a quarter of an inch in thickness. And I'm going to be using 2 zucchini that I went on and I cut total. I have some baby bella mushrooms that I'm going to use. And with my mushrooms, what I like to do is I rinse them off really quickly in cold water, not for very long because the mushrooms will absorb the water. But then I take my damp cloth and just with my damp napkin and I go through and I wipe off any of that excess dirt that sometimes lingers on the mushrooms. And so definitely you want to use that nice damp cloth. Now I like to cut my mushrooms myself because I want to keep the sizes about that half an inch to about a quarter of an inch in thickness, but you can also definitely buy them pre-sliced. This is an 8-ounce package of mushrooms of the baby bella that I'm using. And this is right around that thickness that I like to cut my mushrooms. Now, if you don't care for mushrooms, you can leave them out of the recipe. But I find the mushrooms really help to add to the meatiness of the dish. And I'm using the baby bella that I had mentioned, but you can also use the cremini mushrooms as well. Now, if you are new to my channel, welcome in. Thank you for stopping by. And if you're a returner, thank you for coming back. I hope you enjoy sharing what I'm cooking and baking in my kitchen. And if you like just simple recipes, some old school recipes, I hope you consider subscribing. So next I also have here, we're going to go ahead and chop up some asparagus. Now the asparagus, I'm using just one bundle of asparagus and we're going to be cutting them just to about that point, not the full asparagus because at the bottom it gets kind of tough and it's not easy to eat. And so we're going to be just cutting about 3/4 of the asparagus and I cut them about in 2-inch pieces. And another vegetable that really works well is string beans. So if you love string beans, if you're a fan of string beans, you can add the string beans in addition to the asparagus, or you can leave the asparagus out because the pasta primavera is a nice springtime dish. So it's all the nice spring vegetables with some other vegetables that are just nice and fresh at the grocery store. Now with the tomatoes, I'm using grape tomatoes. If you can find cherry tomatoes work really well. But sometimes the cherry tomatoes aren't always available at the store. So either grape tomatoes or cherry tomatoes. And so I just used the one bundle. And I believe that one bundle was about an 8-ounce bundle of the tomatoes, how they come. And then I also went on and I minced my garlic, and that was 4 cloves of garlic. So those are all my vegetables. Another vegetable you can also use is peas. Peas work really well. And so in the description box below, I will put a list of all the ingredients you need to make this dish. And then I'll also put some alternatives like spinach and some other things that you can add in here, kind of based on your liking. So in my pan, I went on and I put in some vegetable oil, and that was about 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And I also put in 2 tablespoons of butter. With the butter, you can use either salted or unsalted butter. And so once the olive oil got going, I went on and added the 2 tablespoons of butter, and then I added the 2 zucchini that we had gone on and chopped up. So I get my zucchini going, and as we're making our pasta primavera, we'll be seasoning it as we go, and I'm seasoning it with some kosher salt. So I'll just put a couple of pinches of kosher salt, usually after each vegetable that I add to my pot. When I'm making this meal, I like to add my vegetables into my pot one at a time. So first I start with the zucchini, then I put in the asparagus. And the reason why I like to put my vegetables in like one at a time, wait, let it just nice and saute for about 3 to 5 minutes and then add the next vegetable in, is because if I add in everything at one time, what happens is instead of me being able to saute the vegetables, it starts to more steam and just like get like a lot of liquid in my pot. And so just a little bit at a time. Then you see I went on and I put in a little bit more of the kosher salt, and I also added in some red pepper flakes. The red pepper flakes really give the dish a nice like zing to it. And so with the red pepper flakes, you can put just a little bit more to boost up the spiciness, but just a couple of pinches just really brings that flavor home with all the nice fresh veggies in there. And so I put that kosher salt in there. I put just a couple of pinches of the red pepper flakes, and the kosher salt and the red pepper flakes, you want to do it to your taste. Now next, once it's been going for about maybe 8 minutes now, my pot's been going, I go ahead and I add in my mushroom and I start to saute my mushroom around. Now my flame, I have it on about a medium high heat, but you don't want it like on a really high heat because you do want to kind of just, cook the vegetables. You don't want anything to burn, and you just want to bring out all those nice fresh flavors that you have. I'm going to add in another pinch of my coarse kosher salt. Now, if you don't have any coarse kosher salt, sea salt works nicely, or the Himalayan salt, that's coarse, works nicely. But if you only have table salt, just use just a tiny pinch of table salt. If you only have table salt available, just a tiny pinch as you're going through and seasoning up your vegetables. And you're also going to see where that you're going to start to get some liquid. It's going to start to come gradually off of your vegetables as they saute, and so that little bit of that nice flavor that we're building in the pot. And so next what I do is I have my garlic that we mince, and that was 4 cloves of garlic. I go ahead, add the 4 cloves of garlic to those juices that have started to form from our vegetable sauteing. We're going to cook our minced garlic in those juices that's in our pot. Now if you need a little bit more juice, you can always add olive oil to your pan, but I find that I end up having plenty of juice that comes off of my vegetables, and I'm able to saute my garlic with that. So I have here 1 pound of spaghetti noodles. You can also use thin spaghetti noodles. I'm using regular spaghetti noodles. You can use also penny pasta to make your pasta primavera. I seasoned my pasta water with just a couple pinches of salt, and then you also want to cook it till al dente. So whether you're cooking the spaghetti noodles or you're cooking the penny pasta for your pasta primavera, you're going to cook it till al dente. Now the last vegetable that I put in is going to be my tomatoes that I had sliced in half, and I do the tomatoes last because I want the tomatoes to keep their shape as best as possible. Some will break down and end up in the sauce, and you do want that, but then you do want some of them to stay whole. You can also use the grape tomatoes or the cherry tomatoes that also are yellow. Those make a wonderful addition also with the colors. And so actually just a dish like this is wonderful to have. Just a dish like this with, if you're going to have something else on the side with it, like some chicken or something, just these vegetables, how we did, they're wonderful. Next, I put in 1 cup of heavy cream, and it can say heavy cream or the carton might say heavy whipping cream. Either one of those will work fine. And this is 1 cup of the heavy cream. Now when I added in the heavy cream, right before it was time for me to add in, I went on and I turned my flame off. And then I added in the heavy cream. And the reason why I did that is because sometimes when you have a hot pot and your flame is on, and then you add your cream, sometimes your cream will curdle. And so just turn your flame off like I did. I add the heavy cream. After I added the cream, then I went on and I turned my flame back on, and I have it on a low, and it's going to just simmer right now. So my spaghetti is ready, and so I take my spaghetti directly out of the hot water and put it directly into the pot with the vegetables and the heavy cream. We're going to create this nice sauce, and the reason why I don't rinse my spaghetti noodles and rinse my pasta when I add it in is because this way the sauce will be adhering to those noodles, and it's going to create this nice silky sauce. And so go ahead and add your noodles in, and then next what I do is I add in some grated Parmesan cheese. Now total I'm adding in 2/3 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. This is a 1/3 cup measure, so I sprinkle in 1/3 of a cup, and then I'm going to also sprinkle in a 2/3 of a cup to get my total of 2/3 of a cup. Then you want to go from the bottom, just like I'm doing there, go from the bottom to the top, so that way we can really mix in. the ingredients that we have in the bottom, and then also with those hot pasta noodles. And you see how we're starting to create this really nice sauce. And so just kind of you want to be gentle because you don't want to disturb your vegetables too much, but go from the bottom to the top, mix everything around just like that. You're going to sprinkle in that Parmesan cheese, and so we're going to have that nice cheesiness. We're going to also have that nice creaminess from the heavy cream. And I like to finish my pasta primavera off with a couple of tablespoons of fresh chopped flat leaf Italian parsley. I'm going to mix that in as well. And as our pasta continues to cool, our sauce will thicken up, so I do like to reserve a little bit of that pasta cooking liquid to thin out the pasta and the sauce if need be. I'm going to go ahead and serve us up some. This is what our plate's looking like. It's looking so good. I cannot wait to go ahead and share this with y'all. And this first bite's going to be for you. And this meal also works great if you decide to do a little chicken breast grilled on the side or some grilled salmon. Well, this first bite's for you. Go ahead and take your bite. Now I'm going to take my bite and see how we did. Y'all, this comes out so good. I hope you give this recipe a try. These are the ingredients that I used, and I'll also have a list of ingredients in the description box below for your reference. Well, that is it for me today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out. If you like this video, don't forget to show it some love. Give it a thumbs up and click share. Share this video with a friend or a family. And remember, it's always good when Dyvonne is cooking for the family. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.